understanding the data is transforming the way that we grow food.
Find the talent you need to transform your business today. Fiverr.
Today is being dictated by, once again, coronavirus. It's been with us since March, and, well, earlier than that, of course, in China. But today we focus in on Europe, the reaction there. Countries enforcing further...
Manna.
And it's ready to go.
To Bloomberg LP, its affiliates, or its employees.
What was her last name?
Fetch.ai is a Cambridge-based artificial intelligence lab, and it is building an open-source network to enable autonomous software agents to perform useful economic work on behalf of individuals, businesses, and organizations. And Humayun Sheikh, the CEO and founder of Fetch.ai, joins us today. And also Michael Reuter, the founder and CEO of Datarella from Munich in Germany. So we're truly global here today. We've got New York and Germany and London, or England at least. So good to see you guys.
These days it doesn't matter. Good to see you.
Yes.
Good to see you.
So, Humayun, let's start with you. Like, how are you addressing smart cities and the opportunity in smart infrastructure?
Yeah, I think in today's world, we can see there's a lot of data trapped, and there's a lot of valuable data which is trapped in all these siloed places where you have the IoT devices all spread across the infrastructure. And I think we need to really try and bring all of this together in a smart cities kind of smart infrastructure way, so that you can actually tap into all the devices, you can tap into all the data and start bringing value out of it. And there's more value when you can actually correlate with each other, and you can bring different things together to kind of bring out more meaning from the devices and the data. And I think the smart cities, the ability to deploy these different IoT devices and extract data from them and bring it all together is really what we're focusing on Fetch.
Mm-hmm. And then you're doing some field trials too over the next few months. So explain what kind of information you hope to glean from that.
So initially we started with some more academic trials. We did some trials with Warwick University where we reduced energy utilization of the university by 20% using multi-agent systems. We also did a trial with a couple of other partners, and I think Michael Datarella was also part of that, where we did mobility trials, and we brought the electric vehicle efficiency and the whole journey cost down by 30%, and the time it took to charge by another 20%. We also then did some decentralized city infrastructure trials with the City of Dubai in Smart City Initiative. But what now we're moving into is like the actual field trials and mobility and logistics. We're doing a trial in Cambridge and the Midlands in the UK. we're also doing a hotel management system and an agent-based hotel reservation system in the UK, and initially we'll probably do a small deployment in the London area. And finally, we're working with Michael for zoning trials in Munich, which is very interesting, and Datarella and Connect Buildings are partners in that.
Okay, so perfect time to bring you in, Michael, and explain what you're doing in Munich with smart cities and infrastructure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are Datarella. We are enterprise blockchain solutions provider. So we have been working with all things blockchain since 2015, and we work for huge corporations, for huge organizations like World Food Program, United Nations, and so forth. And together with Fetch, we have been working for quite a time. And we have, since we are very practical guys, we always look for benefits of technology for the client, for the customer, for the end user. And since we have very dense populations in Munich, especially in the city center or in other European cities, there are huge problems with commuter traffic jams, with inoptimal parking space management, and so forth. And we are now using several buildings, several corporate real estate properties with existing parking space. And we have started to build a product that manages this parking space in a better way.
Absolutely. Okay. So Humayun, finally, and we've talked a few times. I mean, give me an update on where the business is and what do you hope to achieve next? What are some of your near-term goals?
Yeah, so we made some very good progress in terms of development and trials, in terms of more contained trials, academic trials. This is a very major step for us to go out and start deploying in the real world with the real solutions, with the real devices and real business cases. So what you'll see from us over the coming months, a year, is a lot more deployment, which is going to go out. We'll be building a lot more commercial solutions with commercial partners, and we will be looking to bring out this multi-agent system fabric, which we have now designed and is now in its operational form able to commercialize this new way of doing business. As Michael was saying, if you think about it, if you want to find a parking space, going to Google is not really the option. You have to kind of look at this particular app and find a parking space, and even then, it doesn't tell you where the parking space is. So the new way of doing business is an agent can communicate with tens of these parking places, wherever the parking is available. It calls you, it reserves it for you. It improves the efficiency of actionable predictions and actionable data. And that's really what you'll see from us over the next few months.
Well, and very helpful information. I mean, just for living day-to-day life. I mean, not having to waste time driving over a parking space is huge. So in addition to all the other applications that Fetch is able to do. Well, thank you so much, Humayun. Congratulations on your partnership with Michael as well. And I appreciate you giving the update today. Best of luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome back. SoMee is a social media platform that is based on the blockchain, and it's where users can actually make a little money off of their social media content. And in fact, YouTube and Twitter influencers have added SoMee to their repertoire of social media. So with me today to talk about that, we've got Wendy O, and also Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy, and also Jason Appleton with Crypto Crow. So I guess let's start with Wendy, and Wendy, explain your move to SoMee. Why did you do it? How does it work exactly?
So actually, BitBoy reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to join on SoMee? And I said, sure, because I've heard about it in the past. And I'm always looking for alternative social media that incorporate crypto because, number one, you get to earn cryptocurrency by posting. So essentially passive income. If you're very good at posting, it could be a lot of money. And it's also good to have a backup just in case Twitter gets shut down or YouTube gets shut down with all this centralization going on.
Very good point. And, we don't know exactly where social media is headed. Okay, so Ben, BitBoy, just tell me a little bit about, so you kind of started this? You got everybody involved? Like, what brought you to SoMee?
Yeah, so I have some connections with, some people that work at SoMee and things like that. I had heard about it, and then I found out I had some workers, some friends that were involved in it. And so, I took that opportunity to check it out. I see a lot of benefits to, decentralized social media. And, I've had some problems with YouTube myself, getting strikes and warnings that I didn't even need that ended up getting removed. And, it leads to loss of revenue and all kinds of things. And it really makes you think, like, what if, what if this thing that I built for, 3 years gets taken from me? And it really lines up with the message of cryptocurrency, which is decentralization and trying to make sure that there's not one point of failure. Yeah. And a lot of people that are on YouTube, that's it. If it gets taken, we kind of saw the same thing with TikTok recently, where, a lot of TikTok influencers were terrified that it was going to get taken from them. And what were they going to do? Because they built their entire brand on it. Well, you got to move out and get on other things. So, kind of a censorship-resistant platform like SoMee, it just lines up with what I believe in, and that's when I got involved in it.
Yeah, good points, actually. And Jason, just tell me a little bit about how you got started, and talk about like kind of the same things that Wendy has talked about. I mean, in terms of censorship, and I know they kind of clamped down on crypto too in recent years as well. So that's added to it.
Well, I had actually, thanks for having us, by the way. And, I had originally got into this from, leaving the mortgage industry. And just when I kind of explored decentralized blockchains and kind of realized what it was all about, it just kind of pulled me in. And, the whole very nature of decentralization is kind of like Ben said, there's not any one point of failure. So, I like to decentralize everything I do. It's not just about blockchain. It's kind of a lifestyle. I decentralize my phones, my computers, just everything, so that there's never one point of failure. And, when I discovered SoMee, it was one of those things where I had actually I've been looking for kind of another social media platform to really start focusing my energy on. And there are a lot of tools, some of which are still coming very, very soon. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing. And I forget who it was. I think it was actually the CEO had sent me a Telegram message and said, "Hey, are you the real Crow?" And because I have a lot of impersonators online. And I said, "Actually, I am." And so I sent him a little audio clip and so forth to prove it. And we got to talking, and he was explaining him and a gentleman that helps with their marketing. We just kind of got into a little group, and they started explaining the platform, which I hear a lot of pitches all the time about, the next big thing. But when I actually went and I checked it out, I thought, this is going to be solid. And so I started using it, adopting it, and, and they haven't even really gotten started yet and letting the world know. But I guess this is one of the first efforts. So here we are.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and Chris, the CEO, I've done a few things with him, and I know he's really been persistent, getting this out there, because there is an education thing that needs to happen. And speaking of that, Wendy, I mean, what do you think needs to happen for crypto decentralization to kind of reach the masses?
So that is that would require a very long answer. So I will keep it as short as possible. Most people in the world are not STEM majors. They don't understand about technology. Do you understand how your cell phone works or how your credit card works? Someone would say, what does this technology do? How does it work?
No.
Right?
Not really. Yeah.
So that's majority of the population. I grew up poor. I grew up in the lower middle class, and people I grew up around, all they care about is paying their bills and making sure things, their families are taken care of. So really, to get people excited about cryptocurrency, we need to focus, and decentralization and the importance of it, we need to focus on gaming. The gaming industry is really big. Everybody uses social media. If you could have, I've used SoMee. SoMee is very seamless to use and actually utilize their blockchain technology. You don't even know that you're doing it. So gaming, social media, and then obviously there are some professional industries that could use blockchain as well. But I really think kind of focusing on social media and making it very easy and a seamless transition will be a great way to get more people excited, because if you have no idea that you're using blockchain technology but it works, you're going to be more enticed to continue to use it.
So anything you see, Jason, coming down the pipeline for SoMee that might make it more valuable to you or might entice some others to join?
Well, I think primarily, their marketing. They built a tool that is really, if you think of like Facebook on the blockchain, that's kind of what SoMee is right now, with a lot of extra tool sets associated with expanding your reach and broadening your message, or your reach. So, I know that one of the main things is they're getting ready to upgrade their smart contracts with a lot of security features and other things that, the general public isn't necessarily going to know or understand. They're not going to have to know. All they need to know is that a lot of us tech heads are keeping track on what's happening, and we're there because we believe in what they're building. And so, once the marketing starts to really hit home and people start taking notice that SoMe even exists, let alone the functionality and the tools that are empowering us to do a lot of things that other blockchain or other social media platforms are simply not doing, and just the security, the privacy, a lot of the things that they offer that we're simply not getting. And we're seeing, the way Facebook or even YouTube or a lot of these platforms are censoring the public, whether it's on a political level or, which to me is getting beyond disgusting, because now these vast tools are being used for political means or just all sorts of different things. And we need something that kind of sits in the middle, empowers the people to share their voice without being thwarted or muted or any of that nonsense. We need a neutral partner. And that's kind of what I think a social media platform should be. And I think ultimately that's what SoMe is looking to do. And by building this on the blockchain, they're really kind of establishing that foundation. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. I mean, honestly, I would suggest just checking it out and using it. And you're going to start seeing I've been seeing a pretty consistent stream of updates and things that are being added and fixes and changes and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I would just suggest checking it out.
So as we wrap up here, I want each of you to tell me where people can find you on SoMe and other social media sites as well. So Wendy, let's start with you.
So my handle on all my social media outlets is going to be at CryptoIndio. And if you talk to anybody else that is not at CryptoIndio, that is not me. So I'm on Telegram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on SoMe, I am on Twitter, I live on Twitter, I'm on TikTok. Not really a big Instagram person, but I'm on BitChute and also and Library as well. So that you can find all my content there. I do daily crypto videos. I do a lot of technical analysis, a lot of blockchain for beginners type of stuff.
Okay, I will check it out. Okay, Ben, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on SoMe. Just search Bitcoin Crypto in. My link will certainly come up.
Yeah, okay, Jason, let's wrap up with you. How can folks find you?
You can find me by just looking out into the stars. You'll at least see the top of my head. You can find me. you can find me. I'm Crypto Crow. I'm Crypto Crow on YouTube. I'm Crypto Crow on Theta TV. I'm getting ready to help them with their launch here soon for video on demand. So you're going to be able to find a lot of exclusive content of me there. I'm obviously on SoMe. Just plug in Crypto Crow. I'm not very big on Instagram either because I'm just not that pretty. But that's primarily it. I'm Jason Appleton on Twitter though, because I've had that account for years. So, but yeah, Crypto Crow, and beware of impersonators because I think we all have them. So, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of kind of shenanigans that happens in the crypto world. So, everybody's got to be careful. So, thank you so much, Wendy and Ben and Jason, for joining us. And best of luck. And I'm going to check you guys out on SoMe.
You should.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back. Electroneum has millions of users and app downloads, and people are continuing to sign up daily. So with us again, Richard Ells, the founder and CEO of Electroneum, to explain. We've talked to you several times already, Richard. Always great to get an update on the company and just kind of bring us up to date. So you're still having people sign up. Explain how the business is going right now.
Hiya, Jane. Thanks for inviting me back on. Yeah, it's going very well. Originally, when we first launched, we said we were setting out to be a cryptocurrency that was used by the masses. So we designed it from the ground up to be used by the masses, and 4 million users is quite a lot for a cryptocurrency project, but still not enough for me to be happy. But nonetheless, we're building an ecosystem that enables empowerment of people, so people can earn Electroneum rather than having to just buy it on an exchange or what have you. And through that empowerment, we're seeing much greater adoption and real world use than I won't say every other crypto project, because of the big ones like the Bitcoins of the world, but certainly it puts us right up in the probably the top 5 for real world usage. So it's good, but we've got more things to do yet.
Well, and I took a look at some of the jobs that you're offering, and it was very cool. So I could hire somebody in Africa to make a graphic for my business. And I mean, it was really cool. So explain how people actually can use Electroneum for their day-to-day business or small businesses in their lives.
Yeah, okay. Well, we've got a platform called anytask.com. So I would urge anybody who's watching to go and have a look at anytask.com. It's a freelancer site. It does away with all of the bidding and all of the sort of bits and pieces that you sometimes see in some of these platforms where it's quite complex to hire a freelancer. It's very, very simple to hire a freelancer, and the prices are astonishingly low because very often they are people the other side of the world that has a technical skill but doesn't really have any way of converting that into a financial reward because they are unbanked. So they're not all unbanked. Not every single one of our taskers is unbanked, but we have more than 15,500 tasks listed the last time I looked at the beginning of the week. So we've got huge amounts on there, and certainly some of them are fascinating stories of people that have not got any access to a bank account at all, but they do have access to technology, quite often young people with a passion for technology, and they are producing things that the developed world is craving.
Yeah. Well, and that leads me into the next question then, and this is a unique crypto system. So kind of explain how this looks in the near term, in the medium term. Where are you going with this?
Well, I mean, when we first set out, you know, we built the cryptocurrency side of things, we built the blockchain side of things, and we built an app that anyone can download and make use of it fairly easily. But then we had to think of a way to make it really useful in the real world. And the way we did that was we tied in with loads and loads of companies that sell airtime. So there are 500 plus mobile operators you can buy airtime from directly from our app. So there's 140 countries where you've immediately got something you can buy with ETN. And then as we started to develop that, and thousands of other places that accept ETN, mostly in the developing world, we then realized actually one of the fundamental problems with crypto, virtually every crypto, and this does include the top 5, is that if you want some of it, you nearly always have to be banked, and you have to go off and buy some at an exchange. There's no way of getting into them. And so we realized very quickly that what we needed was a platform for people, no matter where they are in the world, to be able to earn a cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Well, the business model is fascinating. I mean, that you've solved the currency conversion issue. You solved the banking fee micropayment issue that would be cost prohibitive for many people. Plus the global economy. You've helped small business. I mean, it's really very interesting. So, Richard, thank you so much. Great for the update again, and I look forward to hearing more down the road from Electroneum.
Thank you very much. Much appreciate your time. Have a lovely day.
Welcome back. JD Coin says it is the future of cryptocurrency. And of course, this is a rapidly changing industry with lots of fast-moving developments. So with me is the CEO of JD Coin, Dr. Singh, and it's great to have you here and explain what JD Coin is all about. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Leah. Thanks for giving this opportunity, and thanks a lot for this. Yeah.
So explain what the organization's vision is. How do you plan to achieve that?
We are apart from a basic vision. The broad vision is to make a crypto a wider user so that we can easily buy a cup of coffee and solve a big energy problem or a climate change problem that impacts the whole world and the living beings, actually. This uses of a small computing devices like IoT, mobile phones to be a part of the staking and contribute as node.
Okay, and then also, so what is the roadmap in the future then for JD Coin?
We have already moved from a POW to a POS, which is advanced POS, and made significant changes in the algorithms and structure. Apart from being a very good source of investment and also being able to attain one of the best ranking, we see ourselves in the all top exchanges in the next few months and one of the top 10 widely accepted coins in the world.
And then I was very interested to hear about blockchain 4.0. So, like, I've heard a lot about blockchain, kind of the next internet. So, what is blockchain 4.0?
Our team has been intensely working on this, and I'm very, very glad to announce that with the blockchain 4, we can solve the issues related to interchain operability and have a more open and fast transactions along with a very wide use cases from a complex multi-vendor, multi-currency supply chain management, which will introduce a fraud to create a new peer-to-peer energy transaction model, improve grid efficiency. So that's what we are coming up with.
Mm-hmm. So how will the energy industry benefit then from this fourth generation of blockchain and just what JD Coin is doing in general?
It's a big subject. Yeah, I'll try to. Energy companies ranging from utility providers to the oil and the gas enterprises are facing issues with the charging the end user with the differential charges to allowing pay-to-pay share locally generated power, that's called micropower trading, and related accounting of the same along with energy saving certificates. The main grid will have multiple sources of power like the thermal, nuclear, wind, solar, bio sector, and generation cost, distribution costs are different in each case. If blockchain network with sensors and IoT devices along with its network can track these sources of energy and all its associated costs and pass on these cost benefits to the end user, this will result in a huge end user saving. Next comes to the power sharing, which is happening here and there. But if the energy can be lent and borrowed, like we do with the money and attract saving and take benefits of them, like we're doing with the money today, with the help of certificates and a control, which is called a tokenized energy, what we are saying, this would mark the real use of the next generation or fourth generation of blockchain. And these smart energy meters would be these IoT devices with computing power and the memory to execute these nano smart contracts and keep track of all this energy that is coming from a main grid or a peer grid. Keep track of savings along with giving priority to a certain types of energy users' choice, like example, main grid or peer grid or biosolar, which will be a user selectable. For example, with these two innovative things, tokenizing energy and a nano smart contracts that can be executed on IT devices, we would have achieved a new dimension in the use of blockchain in the energy sector.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say would be three fundamental stats or facts that would be relevant to what you're trying to do?
Oh, we are the fastest growing coin, which is one spread in 50 countries in less than 2 months. That's the real fundamental stats what we are today.
And then what kind of utilities would use the JD Coin? Which ones would this be particularly well suited for?
Apart from the wallets and the MAs to buy stuff, we will be building funding and decentralized exchange projects, which is the main to have swaps easily and transparently. We'll also concentrate on IT devices that can do nano smart contracts.
Mm-hmm. And then DeFi, so decentralized finance. We've been hearing a lot of talk about that lately. What about that? Are there any solutions there? What do you think about DeFi?
Decentralized finance apps are great, are going to be an integral part of the crypto world as such. We at JD Coin are building the future of commerce, trust-based B2B loan platform, and we are naming this as a Shore Commerce. So this platform will bring a lender, borrower, underwriter in one single roof, actually, to get a micro loans approved and cash into your account in minutes, right in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Dr. Singh, thank you for coming. Best of luck. And we appreciate hearing about JD Coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
proceeding was a paid program. The opinions and views expressed do not reflect those of Bloomberg LP, its affiliates, or its employees.
You won't see these folks at the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to.